But first, breaking news at this hour 18. Tensions remain high in Kenosha, Wisconsin, after a black man was shot in the back by police in front of his own children.
A curfew goes into effect there in just about 2 hours, and Wisconsin's governor has called in the National Guard in hopes of preventing a repeat of what we saw there, the unrest last night. CBS News' Chris Tye is in Kenosha, about an hour north of Chicago. Chris, you've been there all day. At one point, things got too tense for the mayor to even have a news conference to talk about the shooting.
Brad, they had to actually move the mayor back into the police department because the unrest hit a crescendo. In fact, protesters went to that building and ripped the door off of it because they were so upset. That was Monday afternoon. Take a look at a snapshot of what Sunday night generated. This is what's left of a burned out city vehicle. And so this evening, they have a number of things in place. They have streets closed, they have a curfew in place, and they have the National Guard en route. And that's not it. Take a look behind me, the steps of the Kenosha County Courthouse. Hundreds of Black Lives Matter protesters here to have their voices heard. And a warning, some of what you're about to witness may be upsetting to some viewers.
They didn't even know the kids was in the car. And I'm telling the woman cop, I'm like, can you please get back before I shoot you, get back.
Shot by police yesterday in Kenosha was Laquisha Booker's fiance, Jacob Blake, who she says had just finished breaking up an altercation when police shot him in the back as he was entering that vehicle.
That don't make no sense that you treat somebody like that. Who unarmed, not giving you no problem, he ain't throw no punch or nothing.
Exactly what happened in the minutes leading up to that moment yesterday being investigated by the state's Department of Justice tonight.
Kenosha has a history of trying to do the right thing.
But when the mayor switched an afternoon press conference to clarify the situation into a Q&A with Black Lives Matter marchers, things got so violent, the doors to the police department were ripped off. Some were pepper sprayed, and officers in full body armor stood guard. After that incident, the mayor did speak with reporters with this message for Kenosha residents and the family of Jacob Blake.
I cannot think of anything that is harder than what just occurred to them and how that impacts them. And so the commitment that I make to everyone, and make to their family, to the officer and everyone else, is justice will be served, people will be held responsible for their actions, and we will know the truth.
In the hours that followed the shooting and the release of that Facebook video, the city saw its most violent night in a generation. Trucks set on fire, police attacked. Black Lives Matter leadership in southern Wisconsin aware that some may come here with alternate motives other than healing divides and instead stoking violence. But change, they say, will happen.
We want justice all over America, but if we got to start here, we need to start here because this is where we live at.
We are told Mr. Blake is improving at the hospital here in Kenosha. We can also say that the investigation into this case and the police misconduct is not being handled at a local level, Brad. It is the Wisconsin Department of Justice that is handling it. And so they want to make sure everyone in this town knows there will be no politics at play. And they actually hope that people hold out for the investigation to be complete before any judgments are made.
Yeah, Chris, and as you so well displayed the burned out city trucks. I understand, as you mentioned, there's a Black Lives Matter march in minutes. And as you mentioned, but how deep is the concern that outsiders with different motives may come into Kenosha like they have elsewhere, like they have here, to use this moment in time, if you will?
Yeah, we've seen this blueprint before, even in Chicago. Folks coming to places like Kenosha where the unrest is fresh and maybe people don't know how to sniff out the folks who aren't here for the motives of the Black Lives Matter folks who are really here to try to affect change and not being here to try to stir a pot in an unproductive way. In fact, the local head of the Black Lives Matter movement told me that's one reason he does not have permits when he fills out permits for these sort of marches. He doesn't want to be responsible for any folks who are coming from outside that he can't be responsible for. Again, an eventful night is unfolding already here in Kenosha with this march set to start in just a couple minutes.
Okay, we will be there tonight too. Chris Tye, thank you.